All right, Algebra 2, welcome back to part 2 of LFR4. This one's going to be a little bit shorter, and that's okay. This last part is creating a linear model given 2 points. Now, there's a lengthy explanation. If you've already looked ahead in the notes and seen how many pages are going on there, we're going to simplify that down, okay? Let's just read this together. We're going to do this all on one page. An animal shelter asks all volunteers to take a training. Oh, let's see what we have to do. Solve the problem using an equation in point slope form. In other words, we got to get an equation in point slope form. Okay. An animal shelter asks all volunteers to take a training session and then to volunteer for one shift each week. Each shift is the same number of hours. The table shows the number of hours Joan and her friend Miguel worked over several weeks. Another friend, Lily, plans to volunteer for 24 weeks over the next year. How many hours will Lily volunteer? Well, to get it in point slope form, I need first a point and the slope. Well, we got 2 points, so I'm good with the point part. Got to find the slope. I'm going to treat this as x1, y1. And I'm going to treat this as x2, y2. I'm going to treat Jones as x1, y1, and Miguel's as x2, y2. So my slope is going to be 23 minus 15 divided by 10 minus 6. 23 minus 15 is 8. 10 minus 6 is 4. And 8 divided by 4 simplifies to 2. My slope is 2. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is write one of the equations. Pick one of the points. I'm going to pick Jones' point. And Jones would give me y minus, so I'm going to make sure I got this, y minus 15 equals m, which is 2, times x minus 6. This is if I use Jones. If I use Miguel's, this would be y minus 23 equals 2 times x minus 10. They're both going to come out the same. So we've got our point slope form. We've got our part 1. That's right in there. Lily's going to volunteer for 24 weeks over the next year. And let's see if this works. Okay, so 24, my weeks is in x. I'm going to put 24 in for x. This gives me y minus 15 equals 2 times 24 minus 6. The right-hand side, so I'd still have y minus 15 equals 24 minus 6 is 18. 2 times 18 is 36. I would add 15 to both sides, and y would equal 51. Y would equal 51. Does this make sense? Well, let's see if this makes sense. 51 what, first of all? 51 what? So how many hours would Lily volunteer? So it's 51 hours. So if she volunteers for 24 weeks, that would give her 51 hours. So volunteering for 24 weeks, volunteering for 24 weeks would be 51 hours. And does that make sense? Let's think about this number. Does that make sense? Yes, because it's bigger than both of these, right? It's bigger than both of these. So she's worked more than twice as many hours as Miguel. And is 51 more than twice as many than 23? Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. And if you would have used Miguel's, it still would have worked. It still would have worked. Let's go ahead. I'm going to, again, this is the whole thing that we just went through. We kind of talked about this already. Joan worked for 6 weeks for, let's see, Joan worked, oh, that's the one I wanted. Joan worked for 6 weeks, 15 hours. Miguel worked 10 weeks for 23 hours. Lily worked for 24 weeks. We used these as an X and a Y. We found the slope. We put it in point slope form, and then we solved. And then we rewrote it at the end. She's going to work for 51 hours. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there we go. Number 10 at the bottom here, at the bottom. If you want to look through that the entire thing, the entire explanation in the boxes that they're trying to do, you can do that using the teacher's edition that's been posted, the solutions that have been posted. Number 10, go ahead, pause. Let's try this out. You can try this out on your own. I'm going to get right into it. A gas station, again, point slope form. Got to have point slope form first. A gas station has a customer loyalty program. The graph shows the amount of Y dollars, so we know what our Y is, that two members paid for X gallons of gas. Use an equation in point slope form to find the amount a member would pay for 22 gallons of gas. This is our X down here. This is our Y here. I got 2 points. I'm going to call this one X1, Y1, and this one X2, Y2. Does it matter? No, because it would get the same thing. I do got to find my slope. My slope is Y2, which is 49, minus Y1, which is 10, divided by X2, which is 18, minus X1, which is 5. I get 39 divided by 13, which simplifies to 3. My slope is 3. My slope is 3. See, all of these things are kind of coming in here. My slope is 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little smaller. My slope ends up being, I'll just write this again. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to pick one of the points. I'm going to pick the smaller point just because I feel like it. It doesn't matter which point you pick to create the point slope form because it will both come out the same. So I'm going to say y minus, I'm going to pick y1 here, x1, y1. So my y minus 10 equals m, which is 3, times x minus 5. This is the one that I'm going to use. You could have also had y minus 49 equals 3 times x minus 18. They both would have worked. They're both correct. I'm just going to use this one. I'm trying to find 22 gallons of gas, what the cost would be. So put 22 in for x. Y minus 10 equals 3 times 22 minus 5. 22 minus 5 is 17. 17 times 3 is 51. Y minus 10 equals 51. Y equals 61. Yay, 61! 61 what? In other words, let's see, is it a person's name? The member would pay $61 for 22 gallons of gas. The member would pay $61 for 22 gallons of gas. Let's check it. There we go. Sorry about that. Might cut out. Let's check it on the graph, right? 22 would be somewhere over here. Actually, it would be right there. If we extended this line out, it would be somewhere up here. Does that make a little bit of sense? To me, it does. If I was to kind of take that line over there, that makes a lot of sense to me. So let's look at number 11. I know, I like to write big here. A roller skating rink offers a special rate for birthday parties. On the same day, a party of 10 skaters costs $107, and a party for 15 skaters costs $137. How much would a party for 12 skaters cost? In our mind, we know that that number should be between 107 and 137 because 12 is between 10 and 15. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to take 2 points here. I'm going to take my 10, 107, and 15, 137. I'm going to get my slope. M equals 137 minus 107 divided by 15 minus 10. This gives me 30 divided by 5, which is 6. My slope is 6. I'm not asking you to interpret slope, but I could because we've done that. We've got, let's choose a point. It doesn't matter which one you do. I'm going to use the top one for illustration. If you use the bottom one, it would come out the same. The solution would come out the same. Y minus 107 equals 6 times x minus 10. There is my point slope form. Let's plug it in. How much would a party for 12 skaters cost? In other words, when x is 12, what is y? Y minus 107 equals 6 times 12 minus 10. If I simplify the right-hand side, 12 minus 10 is 2 times 6 is 12. Y minus 107 equals 12. Add 107 to both sides. Y equals 109. Great. 109. Yay, 109. Woo. 109 what? 109 what? $109. Is that between 107 and 137? I'm sorry, 119. I got excited. I got really excited. 119. 119. There we go. I know you're like, Mr. Bramy, you did it wrong. I fixed it. Nice job. I can hear you guys. In other words, a party for 12 skaters would cost $119. That is what we're trying to get to. All right. I have given you starting on the next page. So we got a bunch of practice going on. Go ahead and take a look at practice 1 to see which ones those are. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you got any questions and have a great night.